Good morning, children. Today we are going to do the remaining part of the history lesson 4 in the earliest cities. In the last video, we discussed how the cities were discovered, the speciality of those cities, how the houses and drains and streets were made, life of people, as well as the beautiful things made by the people of those cities. Today we are going to do the remaining part of the lesson. Now you've seen many things were produced by the people living in those cities, and they were produced so perfectly that it seems they were made by some specialist. Who is a specialist? A specialist is a person who is trained to do a particular kind of things or any kind of work very accurately, right? Now if you see this figure, if you see the figure of this person, you'll see how accurately everything is being done. Anybody cannot do like this. Only a specialist can do. See the garment of the person, how accurately it has been carved out. See the beard, how nicely it has been shown. All the things are so accurate and perfect that it is clear that only a person who is trained in this art must have done this. So they were very good at cutting stone, polishing beads, making seals, right? Now, in search of raw materials, we are going to do this. Now, when they were making so many things, they needed raw materials. And raw materials you already learned, कच्चा माल. कुछ चीज़ बनाने के लिए बहुत सारी चीज़ों की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. जो चीज़ें ज़रूरत पड़ती है, they are raw materials. Right? So, some things they got naturally around them, like wood, ores of metals, right? They and or certain things they got from the farmers or herders. Okay, these were then processed into the finished good. For example, cotton. It is produced by farmer. That means it is raw material and then it is processed to make cloth. But everything that they made, all the raw materials were not available in the Harappan cities. Locally, they were not available. So, for those things, they had to go to far off places like for copper, tin, gold, silver, precious stones. To bring all these things, they went to distant places, very far off places. So, they might have brought copper from Rajasthan, right? And Oman in West Asia. Tin is actually mixed with copper, then it produces another metal called bronze. So tin was brought from Afghanistan and Iran. Gold brought from Karnataka. You know, we have one gold mine in Karnataka, Kolar gold mine. Gold was brought from Karnataka, and precious stones were brought from present-day Gujarat, Iran and Afghanistan. See, archaeologists found wheeled cart. It's a toy. So, toy means it suggests that people used wheel cart to go from one place to another, even to carry things. Now, see, this is a seal. This seal, it has a boat. That means it is clear that people were waterways and they were using boats. Right, children? Now, we'll do food for the people in the cities. Just like present day, people living in the cities, they get food supply from the people living in the countryside, that is in the villages. They grow crop and we get food from them. They grow crops, they rear animals, right? So like this, they also had people living in the cities were getting food from the farmers who were living in the villages, growing crops, rearing animals. Okay, the farmers and herders, they supplied food to the craftspersons, scribes, rulers in the cities. So from the remains of the plants, archaeologists found that suggests that farmers grew wheat, barley, pulses, pea, rice, sesame, linseed and mustard. So many variety of crops archaeologists found a new tool called plough. What is plough? Plough is used to dig the soil before planting the seed, to make it soft, upside down, to make the soil upside down. So actually they found a toy plough which is made of terracotta. They found a toy plough. So that gives an idea that farmers use plough in their fields to grow crops. Actually, it gives an idea. Maybe the real plough was made of wood, which did not survive. So this is enough to tell us that they use plough for their fields. Okay, the toy medals, it is found because it is made up of clay. And there is a doubt that they might have been using some irrigation method. Why? Because this part doesn't receive sufficient rainfall. So as they are growing so many crops, they needed lots of water. So for that they might have used some irrigation process. Irrigation means sinchai. Means water was stored and used at the time of dry period for the plants to grow. The Harappan people reared cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo. Water and pastures were available around their settlement, but as you already told you that this western part where the Harappan cities are located, towns are located, this doesn't receive much rainfall, sufficient rainfall. So maybe during the dry seasons, dry period, so it seems that people moved with large herd of animals to distant places, to far off places in search of pastures and water. Pasture means grassland. At that time they collected fruits like bear, caught fish and hunted wild animals like antelopes. Now children, let's have a closer look to one of the Harappan towns in Gujarat, that is Dholavira, located in the Rann of Kutch, where there was fresh water and fertile soil. Unlike very much like other places, this place has lots of fresh water and fertile soil. Now most of the cities were divided into two parts, but Dholavira was divided into three parts. Okay, each part had walls around them, massive walls, very big walls around them, and each part had a big gateway to enter, entrance gate. Okay, there was a large open area after entering the settlement, and it seems that large area was used for public ceremonies. When people gathered, large number of people might have gathered there for some ceremonies and all. Okay. And another thing archaeologists found, they found large letters of Harappan script. Harappan language, what they used, in that they found large letters. Okay, and that was carved out of white stone. The letters were carved out on white stone and inlaid in woods. They were fixed in woods. And they were so beautiful. Now, sad part is that till today we don't know the seal. I have shown you in the previous chapter also. The seal, our scientists or archaeologists, they have not able to decipher, or they could not find the meaning of those seals. What are written in those is not yet been understood. Here, the seal. We still don't know what is written here. Do you understand? So, archaeologists found large letter in Harappan script. They found large letter in Harappan script. This type of writing has found in many seals. Then another city, Lothal. Okay, it is also it is situated on the banks of the tributary of Sabarmati river, that is in Gujarat, and it is close to the Gulf of Khambat. Here you see Dholavira, located near Rann of Kutch, Dholavira located near Rann of Kutch, and this is Lothal, which is near the Gulf of Khambat. Now what is Gulf? This is Gulf of Khambat. Gulf means a narrow stretch of water entering the land. Gulf means narrow stretch of water entering the land. So Gulf, Lothal is located near the Gulf of Khambat. Now this area had lots of raw materials were available here. Lots of raw materials were available here, like semi-precious stones. Precious stones, you know, means very valuable, costly precious stones. And these are semi-precious stones, means not very expensive, not very costly, but they are very beautiful, were easily available in these areas. This was an important center for making objects out of stones, shells, metals. Okay, these things were available in large scale. So there was also a storehouse. There was also a storehouse in the city. So many seals and sealings have been found there. Many seals and sealings. Sealings means the impression on the seal. Okay, the impression on the seal, something is written or some animals carving is there, that is impression of the seals are found in the storehouses of this Lothal. Archaeologists found a building here in Lothal. It seems it was used as a workshop for making beads. Why? Because pieces of stone, then half-made beads, tools for making bead, and even finished beads have been found here. So the whole thing suggests that this building was used as a workshop for making beads. Now they used seals to stamp bags or packets which were sent somewhere far off places, which contain goods, to send them to some another person. So after a bag is closed or tied, a layer of wet clay is being applied on the knot. ऊपर जब गांठ बांध लेते उसके ऊपर उसको फिक्स करने के लिए उसके ऊपर soft clay is being put. Then the seal was pressed on it. Seal was pressed on it. So the impression on the seal is known as sealing. Just like the seal, you have the school's seal, principal's seal on the report card, children. The sealing means the impression. When we put the school seal in your report card, what you get? What is written on that? Shankaracharya Vidyalaya. That is the sealing. That is the impression in the seal. Then principal's seal, sir's name is there and name of the school is there. That is called sealing, impression of the seal. So why it was sealed? Because to keep the thing intact. Whatever is there in the bag, it should be perfectly in place. It should not be touched. Now when the person who is receiving it, okay, if he finds the seal is intact, that means everything is fine in the bag. Nobody has touched it. किसी ने छेड़खानी नहीं की. If the seal is not broken, that means things are perfectly there inside the bag. Nobody has touched it. किसी ने छेड़खानी नहीं की. Now, the mystery of the end. Mystery means rahasya. The things we don't know. Now we don't know how such a flourishing and advanced civilization has come to an end. It's a mystery, we don't know. But around 3900 years ago, it was found that major change has started coming in these areas. People stopped living in many of the cities. They abandoned it, left it. Then writing, seals and weights were not used anymore. Then they were bringing raw materials from far off places. That has not been done. It has become rare. Raw materials were not brought from far distances. Then in Mohenjo-daro, pile of garbages have been found on streets, which was very much unusual. Then drainage, you have already learned, they were so beautifully made and so good, they were broken. Okay, and houses were made, new houses were very less impressive. They were not at all good looking. Very less impressive houses were made, and they were even made on the streets. Means no planning. They were even made on the streets. Now, why all these things happen? It's a big question. It's a big question for us. We don't know. So the scholars, those who are doing all this, they suggest many reasons. Some say maybe the rivers dried up, that's why people moved. Some say because of deforestation. Deforestation means cutting lots of trees. Green cover is removed. Some says people use too much of fuel. Fuel means, for burning. They must have used wood for burning, for baking bricks, then smelting copper ores. Smelting means taking out metal from the ore. Ore, all the metals are found in the ore form. They are mixed with clay, sand. That means they are in the rock form. So that has to be taken out. So separating the copper from the ore, that is called smelting. So all these things needed fire. Fire means wood. So lots of wood has been used. That's why deforestation, because of deforestation, people started leaving the towns and settling in some other places. Then some says maybe too much of grazing. Large fields were grazed by the herd of animals because they have started rearing animals. They are all grass eating animals, right? So that has destroyed the green cover of the land. Maybe that is the reason. Then some suggest maybe floods were there, that's why people left. But you see, all these reasons, none of the reasons are sufficient to understand that because of these because of these reasons that such a flourishing civilization has come down. It appears that rulers must have lost control. In any case, the effects of change are quite clear in sites, especially Sindh and West Punjab, which are located in present-day Pakistan. People abandoned these places. Abandoned means left, chhod dena, and they went and settled in some new and smaller settlements to the east and to the south. Then new cities emerged after 1400 years. And about these you are going to learn in the next few chapters. Children, in this we have come to the end of this lesson. I hope things are clear to you. Okay, children, thank you.